Have you ever looked towards the sun and realized all you can see is its glory? This is a question Malachi asks. We cannot see the sun directly, but we can see its glory, raying out and coming to manifest throughout materiality. Think of the light of the sun, present in trees, plants, flowers, rocks, and soil, in all creatures, in all creation. Now, think of the light within and behind the sun, the light of the Eternal One, this light being within and behind the reality display as we experience it. This light of the eternal, the light that cannot be seen, manifests as the attributes of God and our souls, gradation after gradation, all the way to the physical reality display. The attributes of God manifest through gradations, and as we cleave to these, we are also cleaving to the inmost parts of our soul. Through the Holy Sefirot, these attributes of God, beginning with concealed of concealed, supernal light, to wisdom, understanding, knowledge, mercy, severity, compassion, divine pride, spiritual humility, righteousness, and the manifestation of the kingdom of heaven here on earth, our souls are coming into being. Here, as Malachi shares, we cannot separate the attributes of God from our souls. Gradations of awareness are the key to the manifestations of the attributes of God as they play out through all the parts of our soul in all of its levels. What a contemplation, what a mystery. Look and see.
You cannot separate the Sefirot from souls. That to talk about Sefirot is to talk about souls. So for example, at the level of absolute, this supreme universe, there is this reality of these 5 aspects of the soul: Yechida, Chaya, Neshama, Ruach, and Nefesh. Quite a thought of a reality of Nefesh, the vital soul that's in you, and absolute. This itself is an intriguing contemplation. But I'll set it aside, because what I want to share is another way of considering what it means that Sefirot and soul are aspects of the soul that really they're inseparable from one another. And it is this. So really, there are all these gradations of being, of consciousness, of force. And very specifically, all these gradations of awareness, of presence of awareness. So as we're speaking of these mysteries, which range in to the most lofty, supernal, supramental, primordial spaces, and do range out into all kinds of things of our experience, 7 heavens, earth, so on. do understand all of these are various levels of being, of consciousness, of awareness. These are all levels of awareness. A presence of awareness. This is important in our experience. Because there's nothing removed. You would have to understand, lower awareness, higher awareness, lower awareness, heightened awareness, more heightened awareness still. This is all interconnected. Think of going up to a piano and you hit a key and a note. Strike it hard. Plays fully. And then it progressively diminishes. Is there any separation between its loudest point and its lowest point just when it fades away? Now also understand something else. If you were to do that, and you have a stringed instrument nearby, very near the source of sound, actually there would be a reverberation of the same note off the corresponding string. So, these various levels of being consciousness, very specifically speaking of awareness, these various levels of awareness, they're actually not separate at all. Also we know that as there's movements in awareness, it will light off more or less in others. This is really a mystery of a stirring below generates a stirring above. A generation of a heightened awareness, a higher expanding consciousness below generates above. There are these parallels. Remembering that one of the meanings of Kabbalah is parallelism. So as we speak of deep mysteries, how we speak of deep mysteries is because there have been those who have entered into these states of awareness, these levels of awareness, some of which indeed are supernal, supramental, primordial, and yet completely connected to all these other levels of awareness. So as we talk about these various parts of him, these are levels of awareness within levels of awareness, within levels of awareness. As we go into Peyrud, that simply is being, consciousness, force, levels of awareness with various gradations of apparent separation. From most subtle and sublime to, most extreme as we can see in this world. Many people walk around believing there is no God while they're living, moving, and having their being in God. And have never been separate from God. How many fish in ignorance swim in the sea and don't know what ocean is? Just not aware, you see? Just not aware. So the entire issue really is awareness. Now, if you think about the movement of souls through countless incarnations, mineral, vegetable, animal, human, and beyond human, as we see in Masho. This gets interesting. Because what you're actually talking about is this vast range of levels of awareness, a presence of awareness. Or another word for this is intelligence. In the language of Kabbalah, mochen. Mochen, mentalities, intelligences, intelligence. Sometimes translated as brain, and rightly so. But you see, it's all about sparking this presence of awareness and learning how to generate a greater and greater presence of awareness in oneself. Because you see, all of this is in you. It's just in the ignorance, in the illusion of separation. While all this may be in us, we can be like a fish in the sea who gets water but doesn't get the sea or the ocean. What is the ascent through the tree of life? The realization of ocean, that ocean is me and I am ocean, and that we have never been separate and apart from one another. I have lived and moved and had my existence in it, and it in me, all the while. Isn't this interesting? That Malchut is called Yam, sea. That divine presence, Holy Shekinah, is called Yam, sea.